We live surrounded by many things, but so many of us feel empty. In this episode, we'll explore why material possessions can never satisfy us and where true happiness is actually found. Technology has connected us to millions of people around the world, yet we still feel lonely. Why can't material possessions satisfy us? Where can we find meaning and fulfillment? If we carefully introspect, we'll be able to see that the more we identify with the material world and things, the more sorrowful we become and the less meaningful our life is. Why is this so? As we heard in the last episode, our true nature is spirit. The inherent aspects of spirit are eternality, knowing, and the bliss of love. Material things, in contrast, are temporary and can't give enduring happiness. How can that which is eternal, knowing, and loving find satisfaction in the temporary and stressful? If we cling to that which doesn't endure and is unable to give us satisfaction, that's a recipe for suffering. When we don't understand our true nature as spirit, we live from the perspective of a body that will die. Therefore, fear and loss and death cloud our days. Ignoring that fear as best we can, we search for happiness, and in pursuit of that, we try to acquire things and claim them as mine. When we do this, then we live in the world of the selfish, small me and mine, and we remain unaware of our big I. Therefore, we speak about my country, my car, my house, my computer, my smartphone. With this two-letter word, my, we project our thinking, feeling self onto unthinking and unfeeling metal, rubber, plastic, and wood. We so much identify with our my's that we think we are our my's. And to compound this problem, we're at odds with others' my's. This envy and jealousy and fear is the root of all conflict and wars in the world. We're anxious to grab more my's and protect my my's. In fact, we actually feel pain when my thing is stolen, broken, or lost. We have very real physical and emotional responses because we're attached to the myness of the thing into which we've invested our very self. As we identify with unaware, unfeeling, ever-changing, and disintegrating transitory objects in this world, we're dragged down into confusion, loneliness, anger, and depression. And by investing ourselves into these things which are temporary and inert, we deaden the self, and life can lose its meaning and value. Although self-consciousness is pure spirit, by associating with matter, it becomes matter-like, almost dead to itself. The Bhakti texts explain that our hunt for happiness is natural and enduring happiness is attainable. But we have to correctly locate where happiness can be found and how we're to go about fulfilling our desires. The Gita tells us, you exist to love, and the world exists to teach you how to love purely and wholly. But love what? Things cannot return our sentiments for them. We have a dead one-way relationship with things, wealth, and status. It's no wonder why the so-called happiness of a new car or a new computer or any other new thing quickly dissipates. Since we are a relational being who seeks connection and love, our relationships with things will never fulfill us. So many objects and things can be bought, but our deepest need cannot. If I think I'm the body, then it's absolutely natural to conclude that gratifying the body will make me happy. So we chase the fleeting pleasures of wealth, beauty, prestige, relationships, food, sex, and drugs. And though we try to consume as much as possible, we soon discover that the senses have quite a limited capacity. We can only eat so much ice cream or our favorite food before it makes us sick or obese. Even if we could constantly enjoy our senses with the highest standards of enjoyment, we would not be satisfied because we're not the body. So we're engaged in a losing proposal. The sooner we come to realize that we're beings of spirit, not consumers of matter or endless stimulation, the quicker joy will find us again. My misdirected endeavors consume so much of my time and energy and resources, and in return, I encounter more and more obstacles. That's all due to a core misunderstanding about the nature of reality we find ourselves in, and therefore in an unending cycle of material attachment to things. And attachment, Krishna says in the Gita, is the womb of suffering. My Mayas are the cause of my suffering. Adding to this predicament, ignorance of ourself also fuels pride, selfishness, envy, and competition. Desiring to gratify my senses and seeing this as the source of my happiness I so desperately want, I see others as separate competitors rather than fellow souls. Society, politics, and personal struggles are deeply entangled in this illusion, creating cycles of conflict, suffering, and constant anxiety. In the Bhagavad Gita, ignorance is defined as forgetfulness of our identity. In other words, ignorance isn't a lack of knowledge of the material sciences, philosophies, professions, the humanities, or any other discipline. It's being in illusion about ourself. We're in an existential forgetfulness. We don't know our very self. Absorbed in this self-forgetfulness, we take from the world to satisfy the body. But whether we're exploiting to respond to my body's needs or to fulfill a desire for happiness, we have to pay back what we take. The Gita says that when we take, we owe. Taking for my Mayas implicates us in a cycle of violence. Taking more than what we need means others go without, even without basic needs like food, water, and shelter. As we exploit the environment and each other, we incur a karmic debt, and nature will collect. No matter how politically and ecologically correct we try to be, how psychologically balanced and well-adjusted we are, how much we honor other people and nature, for however much or little we take, we owe. Knowing about the karmic price of our behavior often doesn't seem to help us tame our desires. Even if we want to break free, mundane knowledge, regardless of how brilliant a mind we have, isn't enough to help us. Spiritual action, and not just good moral action based on spiritual knowledge, is required. In fact, alone we can't conquer this illusion. We need spiritual knowledge and mercy from the Supreme. When we receive divine dispensation, we can come to understand that the self is a unit of pure joy, and we can stop looking outside ourselves for happiness, but we can look within. The natural joy of the self transforms into distress when the self becomes illusioned by the influence of material energy. And further, what we now call happiness is simply a momentary cessation of distress. It's not actual happiness, and it's far from the ecstatic, normal condition of the soul. When we finally meet the self, we're introduced to a secure, joyful person with exceptional characteristics and unlimited possibilities. Since the self originates outside the limitations of time and space, its inherent qualities are remarkable, even inconceivable. And many of us have intuited the existence of this extraordinary person from the time we were young. Why not claim our opportunity to become that actual person who we really are? Sridhar Goswami, a Bhakti teacher, says that because you are conscious, your home is the source of consciousness. And after establishing ourselves in the realm of consciousness, or the self, then we must establish ourselves in the realm of divine love, ecstasy, and beauty. We must search our fortune there and never in this world. So if you've ever felt like you're searching for something just out of reach, consider that what you're looking for isn't more of this world, but the homeland of consciousness. Bhakti invites us to remember the self, return to the realm of divine connection, and rediscover the joy of us. We're not consumers of matter, but lovers of our divine friend. Thanks for watching Exploring Bhakti. If you've ever felt that nothing in this world really satisfies you, you can trust that intuition. You're not made for things. You're made for love, beauty, and truth, which are present to an unlimited degree in our divine friend. Have you ever noticed how quickly the happiness from a new possession fades away? When you think of your happy moments, were they about things or about connections? What do you think your heart is really searching for beyond material things? What are your thoughts about these points? Please let me know below. In the next episode, we'll dive deeper into Bhakti's metaphysics about the nature of reality and its three primary energies. If this opened you to new ways of seeing, please share and subscribe to keep exploring with me. Until next time, Swastiastu Vishvasya. May there be good fortune throughout the universe and for you.